What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. Just a quick aside before we start. If you find the volume on the actual video portion of my videos to be too low, please let me know. I have seen the odd comment, but for the most part, people don't comment on that. So I'm just, I'm unsure if it's really a problem or not. When I listen to it myself, it seems okay, but maybe I have a hearing problem. I don't know. Norway's $47 billion coastal highway. We watched that video yesterday, which was pretty darn interesting, right? For the undertaking that they're taking. From an infrastructure standpoint, from an architectural standpoint, and just the ambition, really pushing the limits of kind of what we can do. There was also quite a few comments like, hey, this thing's like probably never going to be built, or at least portions of it, like they're describing, are probably never going to be built. That's yet to be seen. Technology is always advancing. The project finish point, I think, was like 2050, maybe. So like there's delays. There's changes in technology. There's money, funding issues and problems and advances. So you never really know. Let's look at the comment section just for a quick second. I love this first comment. The really fun part of this is that the government demands the old, romantic, nostalgic, and scenic roads to be upheld so people can choose if they want to go fast or enjoy the scenery and culture along the coast, which is a good thing to keep, right? Because sometimes people do enjoy the scenic route. So sounds like one of those Minecraft projects you would never finish. All right, let's just check out this video. Apparently it's more succinct. The last one was kind of one of those AI voiced ones that you don't always know where the information is sourced and if it's 100% accurate. Let's have a watch of this. Norway's $47 billion coastal highway, the E39.
The western coast of Norway is home to some of the most dramatic landscapes on Earth.
Them fjords be lit.
Carved by glaciers throughout the ages, some of these fjords stretch for 200 kilometers inland, under over a kilometer deep. The current convoluted travel route through and around this terrain
Ferries,
takes you along
roads.
Norway's 1,100 kilometre, 683 mile E39 highway, a road with a total journey time of 21 hours. Now, the Norwegian government are working to improve access to services and residential and labour markets across the country's western regions by embarking on the largest infrastructure project in the nation's history.
We're almost in the world's history. Kristiansand on the way to Trondheim.
Norway's E39 highway runs between Kristiansand in the far south of the country and Trondheim in the north. The route navigates its way across the fjord network and features no fewer than 7 ferry crossings. The new coastal highway project aims to eliminate the need for ferry services altogether by building a series of bridges and tunnels across, through and under the landscape. With many of the fjords along the route being too wide or too deep for conventional infrastructure to cross, innovative new solutions are being investigated by the Norwegian Public Roads.
Innovative? Is this another AI voice? Sounds pretty convincing, but I'm just kidding.
Being too wide or too deep for conventional infrastructure to cross, innovative new solutions are being investigated by the Norwegian Public Roads Administration. Rogfast is the first in a series of crossings that will link the E39, connecting Stavanger and Haugesund via a 27-kilometre, 16-mile undersea tunnel. This structure will reach depths of up to 390 metres below sea level, making it the deepest as well as the longest.
So this grey portion here, I'm kind of confused with this image. Is it still underwater at this point? Because it's showing this grey part, and then we have the water up here. I was just
undersea road tunnel in the world.
Right, it's still
the Rogfast project will in fact consist of 2 tunnels connected every 250 metres with emergency exits. Each tunnel will have a lay-by at 500-metre intervals, along with telephone and surveillance cameras along the route. The tunnel will also feature a mid-route intersection with the island municipality of Kvitsøy, creating an undersea tunnel junction and connecting the island with the Norwegian mainland. With work begun in 2018, this element of the project is set to be completed by 2026 at a cost of $2 billion.
So there's one thing I'm curious of, just really quickly. Population, because it's not big, of Norway, right? It's not a huge population. 5.4 million. Damn. So Scandinavia, the population is very low, well, in comparison to other countries, which is great if you live in Scandinavia. I love that. Less people, more beautiful scenery. Like even Canada, we're at 40 million. But you go over to like Germany, you got what, 85 million. France, you know, just the populations are huge. It's like us and United States was north of 300 million. Wow. Okay. So very low population base.
While the rockfast works are already underway, the scale of some other fjords is presenting the project team with extreme engineering challenges. Bjørnafjord, located to the south of Bergen, stands 5 kilometers wide and reaches depths of 600 meters. To cross this challenging stretch of water, a proposal has been put forward for a floating bridge, anchored to the shore at both ends. The Sulafjord crossing has seen 2 possible solutions put forward. The first is for a 3-tower suspension bridge, with 2 of the bridge's towers anchored on land, and the 3rd central tower anchored to the sea floor, some 400 meters below the waterline. An alternative proposal for a submerged floating tunnel would see 2 interconnected tubes running side by side, tethered to the seabed using high-strength cables. Crossing the Rumdelsfjord will require a 16-kilometer undersea tunnel, much like the Rogfast project, from Ålesund to Midsund.
So it seems like these 2 projects, those 2 tunnels he just described, are definitely going to be the challenge. Yeah.
Followed by a 2-kilometer suspension bridge connecting onto Molde. By far the most complex and ambitious of all the coastal highway crossings is that at Sognefjord, also known as the King of the Fjords. Norway's largest and deepest fjord is over 3.7 kilometers wide and an incredible 1.3 kilometers deep at its lowest point. While these extreme distances pose their own challenges, engineers must also account for the high number of ships that enter the fjord on a regular basis. Any crossing must allow for a clear shipping lane that is at least 400 meters wide, with 70 meters clearance above the water's surface and at least 20 meters clearance into the depths. To deliver this, the project team are considering numerous different types of crossing for this fjord. The first is a
shout out to Norwegian Public Roads Authority for all these graphics and proposals, because they're doing it. There's going to be hiccups, sure, but
traditional suspension bridge. With a 3,700 meter crossing, such a structure would be almost double the length of the world's current longest bridge and would require support towers at least 450 meters tall, significantly eclipsing the 343 meter tall Millau Viaduct in France to become the world's tallest bridge structure. A floating bridge is also being considered. However, this structure would need to raise to allow ships to pass, and achieving such a feature in a bridge that is only anchored to each shoreline poses considerable engineering challenges that are yet to be overcome.
I would say so.
In a similar proposal to that found at Sulafjord, a submerged floating tunnel is also being considered. This proposal would differ slightly to its counterpart due to the extreme depth of Sognefjord. Rather than being tethered to the seabed, the tunnels would be suspended from floating pontoons that would allow ships to pass overhead. A hybrid proposal is also being considered. combining a floating pontoon bridge with a portion of submerged floating
That one's crazy.
tunnel that allows ships to pass. Whilst fixed bridges transferring into fixed tunnels is not an uncommon solution in waterways with high shipping traffic, such as the link between Denmark and Sweden and the extensive Hong Kong to Macau crossing, combining the two floating structures in this way would create the world's first example of such a solution. Finally, a proposal for a multi-span cable-stayed bridge is under review. This structure would feature 4 floating pylons tethered to the seafloor, rather like oil rigs. With safety and environmental considerations being of the utmost importance, Norway's vast coastal highway project is set to become a new benchmark in engineering capabilities and a model for future infrastructure projects around the world. If you enjoyed this video and would like to get more from the definitive video channel for construction, subscribe to the B1M.
So very cool stuff. I shall watch this construction project's career with great interest. Yes. All right. See you guys soon.